Atonement means making amends for a wrongdoing or sin. For example, after hurting her friend, she sought atonement by writing a sincere apology. The movie is a tragic love story set around World War II, where a young girl wrongly accuses her sister's lover, changing all their lives forever, and the film explores guilt, forgiveness, and redemption. Inception means the beginning or start of something. For example, the inception of the new company was marked by a big launch event. The movie is a mind-bending sci-fi thriller where skilled thieves enter people's dreams to steal or plant ideas, and the story is about subconscious manipulation and the thin line between reality and illusion. Interstellar means traveling between stars or planets. For example, scientists dream of interstellar travel to explore new worlds. The movie takes place in a future where Earth is dying, and a group of astronauts travel through a wormhole in search of a new home for humanity, mixing science, time travel, and emotion. Oblivion means the state of being forgotten or destroyed, unconsciousness. For example, the old city sank into oblivion after the war. The movie is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi story where a drone technician discovers deep secrets about Earth's destruction and his own identity. Insidious means something harmful that spreads slowly and secretly. For example, the disease was insidious, showing no symptoms until it was too late. The movie is a horror story about a child who falls into a coma and becomes a vessel for dark spirits, using supernatural elements with a creeping sense of dread. Tenet means a principle or belief held to be true. For example, one tenet of democracy is equal rights for all citizens. The movie is a spy thriller where time moves both forward and backward, and the protagonist must prevent a global catastrophe using a technique called time inversion. Collateral means something given as security or unintended consequences. For example, she offered her car as collateral for the loan. The movie follows a taxi driver who is forced to drive a hitman around Los Angeles for a night of contract killings, creating a tense and psychological storyline. Elysium means a paradise or perfect place, coming from Greek mythology. For example, he dreamed of living in his own Elysium by the sea. The movie is set in the future where the rich live on a luxurious space station called Elysium, while the poor suffer on a ruined Earth, and a man risks everything to bring justice. Requiem means a song or mass for the dead, mourning. For example, the choir sang a requiem to honor the fallen. The movie Requiem for a Dream is a haunting look at addiction, following four characters as their dreams slowly crumble, creating a dark, emotional, and symbolic journey. Transcendence means going beyond normal limits or surpassing. For example, her performance on stage was a moment of transcendence. The movie follows a scientist who uploads his consciousness into a computer and gains immense power, raising questions about humanity and ethics in technology. The conjuring comes from the word conjure, which means to summon a spirit or perform magic. For example, the magician seemed to conjure a rabbit out of thin air. The movie is based on true events where paranormal investigators try to help a family haunted by a dark presence in their farmhouse. Serendipity means finding something good without looking for it. For example, finding my lost book while searching for my keys was pure serendipity. The movie follows two people who meet by chance and feel a connection, but leave their next meeting to fate, exploring love, timing, and destiny. The Revenant means one who returns, especially from death. For example, in legends, a revenant rises from the grave seeking justice. The movie tells the story of a frontiersman left for dead after a bear attack who survives and seeks revenge, and it is gritty, raw, and powerful. Nocturnal means active at night. For example, owls are nocturnal animals that hunt after sunset. The movie Nocturnal Animals blends a dark manuscript with a real-life story, showing the emotional toll of betrayal and loss. Pride and Prejudice uses the word prejudice, which means a preconceived opinion not based on reason or experience. For example, he held a prejudice against the new neighbors without knowing them. The movie, based on Jane Austen's novel, explores class, love, and misunderstanding in 19th century England as Elizabeth Bennet navigates a complex relationship with the proud Mr. Darcy. Obsession means an idea or person that completely dominates someone's thoughts. For example, his obsession with success made him lose touch with his friends. The movie is a psychological thriller where a man becomes dangerously fixated on someone or something, often leading to intense emotional consequences. Memento means an object kept as a reminder of a person or event. For example, she kept the concert ticket as a memento of their first date. The movie follows a man with short-term memory loss who uses tattoos and photos to track down his wife's killer, with the story unfolding backward, brilliantly exploring memory and identity. Sanctum means a sacred or private place, often used metaphorically for safety or retreat. For example, his library was his sanctum where he found peace. The movie follows cave divers facing deadly obstacles when their underground expedition turns into a fight for survival. Apostle means a strong supporter or messenger of a cause or religion. For example, he became an apostle of environmental protection. The movie is a horror thriller where a man infiltrates a mysterious cult to rescue his sister, with a twisted, dark plot full of religious overtones. Sinister means suggesting something evil or harmful. For example, The Abandoned House had a sinister feeling. The movie is about a true crime writer who finds disturbing home videos in his attic, leading him into the clutches of a dark, ancient force. Melancholia means deep sadness or depression. For example, he sat in silence, lost in melancholia. The movie is a haunting drama about a woman's psychological state as a rogue planet threatens to collide with Earth, emotionally intense and symbolic. The Pursuit of Happiness uses the word pursuit, which means the act of chasing something. For example, he dedicated his life to the pursuit of knowledge. The movie is based on a true story, following a man's journey from homelessness to becoming a successful stockbroker, telling a tale of resilience and hope. Annihilation means complete destruction or obliteration. For example, the city faced total annihilation after the explosion. The movie follows a biologist who enters a mysterious, mutating zone where the laws of nature don't apply, blending psychological sci-fi with symbolic inner breakdown. Synecdoche means a figure of speech where a part represents the whole or vice versa. For example, using wheels to mean car is a synecdoche. The movie Synecdoche, New York explores the life of a theater director who builds a life-size replica of New York inside a warehouse, blending reality and imagination in a symbolic narrative. The Shawshank Redemption uses the word redemption, which means being saved from sin, error, or evil. For example, he sought redemption by turning his life around after prison. The movie refers to a journey of spiritual or personal freedom that happens inside Shawshank Prison. Not just a physical escape, but emotional and moral redemption. Miscongeniality uses the word congeniality, which means the quality of being friendly, pleasant, and easy to get along with. For example, her congeniality made her the most loved person in the group. The title refers to the woman in a beauty pageant voted as the most friendly and likable, not necessarily the winner, but the crowd favorite. Follow for more and comment your favorite movie and meaning.